project, event, or invention, or maybe you or a family member are raising funds for much-needed medical treatment. Now, you can get started raising that much-needed cash via Donate68.com, the newest 100% homegrown crowdfunding platform in Trinidad and Tobago. Donate68.com accepts donations from all major credit cards, but not only that, for those without a credit card, you can use your everyday Visa debit card to make donations. So log on today and create a campaign for your next passion project, startup, or cause. Share your campaign with your community of family, friends, and supporters to get the financial backing you need. Donate68.com, funding your culture.
treated like a mobile meat. Mama birthed us all in a spare so small, but the grain I sand in the sea. Then why stand so tall to make others feel small? Can we work collectively? Oh no. It forces numbers to wonder. Oh no. If future generations have thought of it all. Oh no. All sexes and races ponder. Oh no. When will all this all fall down? Issues, so many issues. Issues, everybody's got issues. Issues, so many issues. Issues. Ain't it different to notice little space? Ain't it different to notice it all? When will we learn from the errors of our ways? When will we change? When I was a child, I ran around wild with another care in my mind. I lived in the trees amongst the cool breeze. That was where I'd spend my time. I'd look to the sky and pretend to fly anywhere I'd want to say. But the final destination with a content population today couldn't be so easy. Oh no. Devastating tornadoes of issues. Oh no. How to rip through all of our lives. Oh no. Positions and power are misused. Oh no. Causing more issues to us. When will this all fall down? Issues, so many issues. Issues, everybody's got issues. Issues, so many issues. Issues. Issues, so many issues. Issues, everybody's got issues. Issues, so many issues. Issues. Oh no. Issues, so many issues. The view from here is great. I can't take the growing rate of all the things I feel because of her. And I gotta read between the lines. I can't have what is not mine. Feel free to slap me if I stop and stare, as I'm reminded why this world is so unfair. 'Cause she's all I ever wanted. Goddamn, this song, this is so wrong. She's all I ever wanted. I'll run away and flee, but she's all I ever wanted. And I'll be on my way, 'cause she's so me, but she's so his. The same as yesterday. I'll just get in the way with all the things she does when I'm around. And I can't help but crack a smile. Maybe I'm in denial, at least I don't look back when she stares, as I'm reminded why this world is so unfair. 'Cause she's all I ever wanted. Goddamn, this song, this is so wrong. She's all I ever wanted. I'll run away and flee, but she's all I ever wanted. And I'll be on my way, 'cause she's so me, but she's so his. To call on the phone, his. To be all alone with, and now I'm waiting all alone. All alone. All alone. All alone. all I ever wanted. She's all I ever wanted. She's all I ever wanted. But she's all his. I often stop and wonder if there could be another like her.
D6 unmuted. Look at that. Look at that. Good night, everybody, and welcome back once more to Kelocal.
Good evening, sir.
What's the correct name of the show? I'll figure it out one day, you know.
Kelocal Lockdown Tuesdays on
Kelocal.
our radio FM.
Let's see, eh? Let's see. Have a thing you're saying.
Let's see.
Kelocal lockdown.
Tuesdays.
Okay.
No, it's supposed to be that, ain't?
Yeah.
The Koika says Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, it's not Wednesday. Yes, so this week we have an interesting, we have one of your partners passing through. But let me just say this first. We opened the songs we played was Till You Say It's Over by Insert Coin, Breakaway by Absence of I, Issues, Threads of Scarlet, and She's So His by Skidnap.
Novella.
Yeah, good stuff. Somebody asked me if I wear an uncle shirt.
No, they can't come with
tonight.
that.
No, they didn't see the shirt yet. They just asked if I was wearing an uncle shirt or a t-shirt or a muscle t-shirt.
Oh, they just, all
So
right.
it's like, you already say,
Yeah,
you know,
but they
too
don't
late.
start on your way.
Yeah, but it was too late. It was too late at that point. And the comments was real cool because that was this guy, Darren, who comment first and say, hello, Ishi, try to be quicker next time. But Zachariah Ghani, Mr. Zig, vexed because he come in second and he's a real competitive fella. He would have fling with phone, all kind of thing.
Way.
Yeah. Then Rachel, 868.
She exists, right?
She does exist.
Right.
I'd show pictures last time. You had to leave, but I'd show pictures. We have
Okay.
pictures
Right.
of somebody who says that they are Rachel.
Right. Ready to get ID now? All right.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if I hire an actress to say she's Rachel, it don't matter because, you know, evidence. You didn't? No.
No, I
You
met
didn't.
Ishipai.
Right, you did meet Ishipai, who was the fourth person to come.
Wow, number 4.
Yeah.
So it's real competition on the shatter. Okie dokie.
So the last few days we reached a little almost exact now in time and Vish was in muscle fixie tractor mode now and again comments about how Vish in serious mode with his hair tie up and whatnot. It kind of intimidating and I'm telling you as a straight man it real kind of sexy too. Like Vish, boy,
But you good
when I was Vish age, I hope I used to look like that. I really do.
I tell you what you do.
As a
I
short
got
fella,
picture you when you was Vishage and compare.
I put up one recently and I was getting comments on it if I'm
All right.
yeah.
Well, I know you from
Oh, yeah, you know me when
2000.
from when we was young.
Yeah.
Next week we'll see. Hey, you know what will real kill you, Mr. Ghani? What will real kill you is that Vish don't tell me when he posts the when he put up the
What?
page, the
Oh,
YouTube link.
okay.
So I myself don't know. I just check and if
Right.
it's there or if it's not there,
Right.
I'll put a comment. You know?
Right.
So I have with no advantage, with no bias, no advantage. You get
Yeah, they can't say you set it up.
you get licks. So later on tonight, we have Chesco Emmanuel.
Hey boy, Francesco.
Francesco
My partner.
Emmanuel. Yeah, so he doing he just finishing up our album with Sonic Revival project, but he here to talk about that, yes, but the history because he is one of them who know the history.
Yeah.
He predate a lot of
Yes,
of us.
yes.
A lot of us. His band.
Yes.
So his bass player and Iron Maiden was the two bands that make me want to play bass and
What, you?
Yeah, it was Landy.
You go say it again later, eh? Right.
No, he know that. He know
Right,
that.
right,
They used to be very encouraging and supportive.
Yeah, that was
of-
nice fellas, man.
of all them things.
Some of the best.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, so tell me what you have for us today. What you have for us today?
Ready to go?
Yeah,
All right.
are you ready for you?
Well, it's small again. Some rock supporters. We have on the 24th, which was yesterday, we have Priya Ramsumer John, a big rock supporter. And we have Maria Wong, another rock supporter.
Yeah.
They're ringing you.
That's it's just go. Sorry.
Hey.
You go ahead.
You reach? Nice.
I feel so.
Who we have later in this week? I know you just tell me I miss out this year. Anybody you know between now and next week? Because I'm searching and I'm looking and I'm saying, but I have a good amount of space. Today's the 25th.
Yeah.
A good amount of space. I've got 5-6 days to go. Well, anyway, on
last
the
week was the exciting week.
Yeah, boy. On the 2nd of September, he's in Miami right now, Mr. Mark Daniel Hahn. Remember Mr. Hahn from Bruce Lee? Yeah. The dragon? Right, nice. Yeah. That's how we just have to rock here, people.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's and we had
I think so.
Your first girlfriend, boy. My cross said it today on the radio. She passed away, boy. At 80 years, looking fantastic.
Honestly, my eyes full up with tears. Because that woman, I used to say...
Yeah, she's a rocker first, eh? Don't let people confuse with country music and things. She's a rocker first,
If I had a fairy godmother, it'll be her or Julie Andrews. Like, I grew up...
that tight boy.
I grew up with them.
Try and see if you could balance that now.
The earliest songs I think I know is from them.
And
the songs that I used to go and request.
Don't know what we're talking about, who we talking about.
Yeah, Dolly Parton passed away today at
Dolly
80
Parton.
years
So that
old.
means her...
The nicest disposition you'll ever meet on a human.
Her, I like that word you said. That is our next thing we have in common.
She always in a good mood.
Yeah, no.
She never have... She don't let nobody
So her
fight.
character on Sesame Street also has to die, right?
No,
Which is
that's...
Polly Dotton.
No, that's not Dolly Parton. That's Polly Dotton. She have to live now.
No, boy, Polly Dotton not to die, boy, because she died, boy.
She had to live because Dolly died. That's the legacy.
Franco's tell you something secret, all right. Good,
I don't know.
Good. Yeah, it is the legacy, but
Kermit didn't die.
in a way, kind of did,
We ain't taking that.
We ain't taking that?
We ain't taking
all
that.
right.
So, yeah. So, that's the birthdays this week.
Yes, sir.
Let me get back to some music there.
Music.
I don't even know what I want to play with. I don't know how.
But you're going good there. Just try the next one.
Just try the next one.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
what's happening?
I feel.
These
Vish,
are not
answer
for
the
you.
sonar on my behalf, please. It's been ringing. Vish is not my secretary. He's just a very helpful guy.
He's the engineer in control.
He's just a very... Right, so let me check out these comments for a little bit again. Yes, so we tell all you who is on. Yes, I do have snacks, very healthy snacks. I'm not going to show you because one, I disagree with the packaging.
But the price going up.
It was on special all the time now. We didn't realize that this is the regular price.
Oh, I thought it was $9.95.
They were promoting it all the time.
Okay.
Anyway, it's healthy, but I disagree with the packaging. And you know, pay your money. Pay your money if you want to be on this radio station. help we pay for some lights before we help you get some sales, right?
I like that.
A man say he bringing doubles and substitution to the next time he on here. No,
okay, I wonder how much he go rock by.
No, well, we're not allowing that combination until 10 o'clock. 10 p.m. Right? So many issues. Yes, Ishipai. That is a big tune from we sister island. Well, one of we sibling islands, you know what I mean? Yeah, Rachel, we see you. I'm glad you're still on the same script with whoever the actress was that night and the team and whoever. No, we see you. I will show yeah, Jose still doubted because he not
I never see you.
He ain't see, but I'll show you. Now, Rachel, you know what? We're going to have to. I want. So come in the next few weeks. So next week, we have in the band Hose.
Right.
We have any musicians who's play with a million different bands,
Yes.
but so proficiently that I don't understand how it's happened.
Yeah, how they pull that off?
Yeah.
How they
So
pull
they
that
have
off?
and the first tree is three basemen.
Yeah, I know that.
Right?
I know that.
Then we're going to following up. We're going to have a fella to come in and talk about the music industry and its history in it. Who's our next band? Who? But you have a wider scope than people know. You remember the bandfield.com?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's going to be happening in the next few weeks.
Great.
But what I want a night
You want a night to
when the fans. I think the fans is the ones who's really connect the dots. When the fans, like if we could get Ishi Pai and Rachel here
Hey, only hear that, eh?
to dispel the rumors, you feel like you can do that?
Yeah, only come in a night now, please.
Yeah. Jalen Ramki soon.
Uh-huh.
Birthday. What date is
Today's the
Mushroom Show?
25th. Give it.
Yeah, his birthday is
Jalen,
Yes.
happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Right, nice. Yes, you can put up people birthday in the chat, please, Darren, and I will read it out.
Yeah. So
That's a good one, that's a good one.
in Dolly Parton was part of her childhood via Sesame Street and the Muppet Show. So yeah, boy, Dolly Parton's one of the sweetest dispositions. Like one of the songs that get her popular was actually she thought this bank girl was going to steal she man, Jolene. That was actually the girl name, and they actually meet when Dolly was 50 something. And they finally talk, and she said, because they would have affected one another
Yeah,
life.
boy.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
But her
real
personality
life,
was always bubbly and laughing.
real
and
life
fun.
case scenario come in your
In
face.
the early 80s, you wouldn't know the difference. Like, country music was pop music. She and Kenny Rogers was big on the radio.
There was no
So,
differential.
yeah,
it was happening.
I will tear up if I keep talking.
All right, okay,
I really,
okay,
you know?
okay.
Yeah. I'm looking like I'm ready to go samba dancing. I didn't button this button because I'm in Vish mode.
Oh no.
Or you should see Vish when you're in a shirt. Like this is Vish mode. If I go 2 buttons lower, that's Dax mode.
That is Dax.
If I just the bottom button alone, that's key one.
Oh, okay.
You understand? You
I
ever see them
understand.
the breezy
Yeah,
guys?
it makes
breezy
perfect
guys?
sense. If you know
Yeah.
these characters, it makes perfect sense.
Ria Rodriguez, birthday's tomorrow.
Ria
Happy birthday
Rodriguez,
to Ria.
happy birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, so and I have a little one small apology for a little miscommunication that started a little bit late. Because I wanted somebody to come in today and talk about this show. Hallowed Be Thy Name. Yeah, the fellas at Chris Rock Bar putting on something this Saturday 29th August with the Anomaly, Grass Project, and Tad. So
Tad.
my boy from the Grass Project, he was coming. I was supposed to follow up with a call and I didn't, and I apologize so earlier for that.
That's the apology.
So
you'll
so
get
I had to
arrested.
make sure and represent the Anomaly.
You'll get arrested.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Anomaly is we family.
Yeah.
Inside here is our radio family. And Tad, who I think is the baddest heavy band, is one of my favorites anyway. So yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. So sorry about that, but we're gonna get back to some music. Hey, bring Ria Rodriguez to the next big show. Right? Vish can't do that. Jose will buy a drink for. Jose will buy a drink for, right?
You go buy Moby.
Yeah. So until then, let me play some music.
Take it in.
I've been having a God fling for the longest time. I've been chanting Rastafari, and I know Jesus isn't mine. And it's so good, it's understood. It's all part of the same trip, sailing on the same ship. And it's so nice, it's such a surprise to see we on that same trip, sailing on the same ship. I've been having a God fling for the longest time. I've been chanting Hare Krishna, and I know Jesus isn't mine. And it's so good, it's understood. It's all part of the same trip, sailing on the same ship. And it's so nice, it's such a surprise to see we on that same trip, sailing on the same ship. I've been having a God fling Jesus is mine, and it's all good, it's all good, it's understood. It's all part of the same trip, sailing on the same ship. And it's so nice, it's such a surprise to see we on the same trip, sailing on the same ship. And it's so good, it's understood. We're all part of the same trip, sailing on the same ship. And it's so good, it's understood. It's all part of the same trip, sailing on the same ship. And it's so nice, it's such a surprise to see we on the same trip, sailing on the same ship. And it's so good, it's understood. It's all part of the same trip, sailing on the same ship. And it's so nice, it's such a surprise to see we on the same trip, sailing on the same ship.
It's time to undress our heroes, tear them off of their pedestal. Beneath the delicious crust of beauty, sexual aroma of power, lies the heart of a chico. So do you want to know about Selassie? Do you want to know about Selassie? Let me tell you about Selassie. He exiled his brother and stole the throne. He won fruitful nation. Now skin and bone. know about the Lion of Judah? The 12 tribes of Israel. But do you know about the Tower of Babylon? The red lips of it. But if you want to know the truth, you shouldn't trust men who speak them false down. They will lead you to a path of damnation. He's not the one. He's not the one. He is not the one.
Shaken to the point of breaking, woken up to find the truth. All that I have ever been now, blinded in my youth, crawl to the moon. In the valley lies a woman, crimson motion finds a bruise. Dedicate this holy gift now, thrust that dagger through, crawl.
hold you. And whenever they try to mold you, whenever they try to hold you, I say, and whenever they try to mold you, but tell them that you is the one. And you can make your own decision, I tell them you don't need their plan. You know how to make the right decision for yourself. Who is the captain of this ship? 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 I said, who is the captain of this ship now? Who is the captain of this ship? I want to know, who is the captain of this ship? Who is the captain of this ship? I said, when they try to take away everything, you got to make a 50-50 deal. They want more than half. They try to take away everything, you got to make a 50-50 deal. They want more than half. Watch me. Tell them that you is the one. And you could make your own decision, I tell them you don't need their plan. You know how to make the right decision for yourself. Who is the captain of this ship? 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 Who is the captain of this ship, man? Who is the captain of this ship? I want to know, who is the captain of this ship? People always try to take control and tie my hands. They don't understand I got my own plan, yeah. So when they try to hold me, and when they try to mold me, what do we tell them? We say, off it you, this ship ain't for you. I say, off it you, this ship is not for you, man. Off it you, this ship ain't for you. I say, off it you, this ship is not for you now. Off it you, this ship ain't for you. I say, off it you, this ship is not for you, man. Off it you, this ship ain't for you. I say, off it you, this ship is not for you.
Who is the captain
of this ship right here?
That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. So that was Captain by Gazette, The Womb by Upset the Order, Selassie I by Transylvania Zoo, and God Fling by Orange Sky. Good stuff. Hey, look this. Yeah, just the dramatic camera. Vish. See, dramatic. I like it. Hey, we're going on with Pearl boy. So, my mother, she said, Nazak, Darren take after his father. Car dance to save his life. And yes, there was a time Darren had a full head of long curly hair. How you mean I couldn't dance? You never see me in action? When you see me in action? So that is two generations of men who cannot dance. I know. I don't know what to say. Whose side all you on? Vish, she like you know.
No, she had to get in trouble too.
Yeah, she love me, but she like you.
Well, yeah,
They find difficult ways of showing it. So yeah, I was asking for the bands to send in videos. It'll be nice to do a little video thing. A little kind of video, VJ, and they used to call it on MTV.
Yeah, big up Sivan and Jiggy and them.
Sivan and Jiggy give you a little idea there, boy. I don't know. That a little difficult. Nobody sent anything.
No, we have things
We had things. We gotta run it from the
from the iPod.
We just have to play music if we don't have videos. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I'm on search and see if
Well, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Let me do this. Let me do this.
As we try for the 1,000th time to speak of dying as an act that we commit, we slowly ball into a fist of failure. Arms are raised, it looks like this is the end. Should we lie here in broken coffins? Still as the walls begin to smile while they cave in. I'm a glutton for failure, but I promise you this, you'll have my voice in the end. As we sing the mantra in our hearts, the one we thought was lost, when this is over, still the last embrace is ours. While we break, the ashes fill our lungs, and the ember in our hearts, it's lost as we caress its stains. It scars like salt and wounds. Scars like salt and wounds. And the fleetest distractions come to tear us from our seconds of peace. In a spiritual cancer, there's cancer that's taking control. I refuse to be part of the future, played by animals in ignorance. Let the ashes lay, but sure we all the good is there, like we're never alone at all. Gone is the moment when we couldn't blame our ignorance on you. Now's not the bitter taste of bloody mind now that is earned by seeking answers. And the truth we all should know. While we sing the mantra in our hearts, the one we thought was lost, when this is over, still the last embrace is ours. While we breathe, the ashes fill our lungs, and the ember in our hearts is lost as we caress its stains. It stains while we sing the mantra in our hearts, the one we thought was lost, when this is over, still the last embrace is ours. While we breathe.
Did she make you feel traumatized?
What do you think about that, Vish? Technology.
Feels like I'm locked inside a dream where everyone's hunting down a killer monster, and it's me. This misconstrued reality. Pardon my innocence, but what am I missing? I've been salting wounds, it seems. I'm open insecurities. I've given all the love that I could obsession starts to show. I'm the one who's begging, please stop all this insanity. I've given all the love that I could. Watch and pull the trigger on me. Fear me now, 'cause I'm vilified. Don't look away, let me ruin your life. Blame me for your misery. I know you really wanna be my enemy. Only your eyes, I'm vilified. Woe is me, crucified by jealousy. Woe is me, crucified by jealousy. 'Cause I'm the one who's begging, please stop all this insanity. I've given all the love that I could. Watch them pull the trigger on me. Fear me now, 'cause I'm vilified. Don't look away, let me ruin your life. Blame me for your misery. I know you really wanna be my enemy. Open your eyes, I'm vilified. Don't be surprised, I'm vilified. Vilified.
Well, I'm Roger. Like nobody, I'm buying fish, sir. Let me go!
Tilapia, 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 cascadora, 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 cascadora. Early in the morning when I hear the fishman calling, tilapia, tilapia. Late in the evening when I hear the fishman passing, cascadora, cascadora. Fish, Jerry, moonshine, Joshua. Tilapia, 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 cascadora, 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 cascadora. Early in the morning when I go to the market, tilapia, tilapia. Late in the evening, what my pot is what's a cooking. Cascadora, cascadora, fish, carry, moonshine, Joshua. Fish, carry, moonshine, Joshua. Joshua, Joshua, Joshua.
Bones. All you recognize that song? You know that song, Jose?
Yes, I do.
Something blocking you.
I
Oh,
block
this,
it.
yeah, don't worry. Don't frighten.
Don't
Yeah, you
frighten.
know that song? You know that song?
Yes, sir.
That song was Green by Brothers Grimm. Before that, we had Fishnin.
That the green one?
That was actually the greenest one.
The
'Cause
greenest
they
one,
did
yeah,
they did another they did another version of it with Sonic Revival Project.
Right.
Before that was Fishnin by Supernormal. The Supernormal band that is vilified by Rihanna and Ashes and Embers by Tripped and Fallen. So we trying our thing with the videos, right? We don't quite have it down to be able to run them one after the next because weirdness with the software and a lack of familiarity and shippiness like that. Yeah. Zachariah Ghani want to do something crazy with Supernormal. The stars just haven't aligned us yet. Yeah, them fellas, check them. They and their name is somebody the hardest working men you will find. They up for anything. But anyway, I wrote this intro, right? I wrote this intro from the small smoky bars in UE. Yeah, from back in the days. So our next guest would be able to tie the bridges from the small, tiny little venues before they were venues like the bar in UE to touring Europe, to teaching guitar, writing, recording, performing. This fella is not just releasing his band, his project is not just releasing a new album, but I believe he's bringing decades of musical experience to the table. From the pioneering era of the early mid-90s.
And that's the truth.
From the early mid-90s to now, right? So if you ever heard about bands like Warhead, Brothers Grimm, Flipside, who was Flipside? Anyway, we'll ask him about Flipside, right? And Kobo Town, who is like one of my favorite. You know Kobo Town? Nah, you're missing out in life. You're missing out in life. The next thing you get to tell me, I never taste Callaloo.
No, come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
and the ongoing the Sonic Revival Project's comeback album. So I believe this guy going to have a lot to tell us about the evolution of music, rock music, underground music in Trinidad over the last few decades. This is one of my first heroes, right? We have a little as I get my nice little intro going, we have a small little technical thing. I surely notice my face just suddenly get less bright, but we have our best men on it. We have our best men on it. Avengers. Yeah, it's happened. So, hear this big line, right? His story mirrors the evolution of Trinidad and Tobago's alternative music scene itself.
Right. I listen.
The history of the scene. I try to talk, I only have one line. I try to talk slow till we get this thing back working. Yeah. Yes, so let me just check something here quick. The second fish disappear. The second fish is the second fish disappear when this is happening, you know. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be it all soon. Like so soon that I can't even run a song. So soon that I can't even run a song. So let's see. Where are we supposed to be with this one? Look, check Vish in order. Check Vish. This is Vish in work mode. Vish, I would have turned the camera on, yeah, but I don't interfere with anything, and you say it's my fault.
Alright, you know, play some music. Can you mean that?
Yeah, all right. So we'll be back in we'll be back in a second while we watch Vish flex his muscles. Leave a camera on where people can see you flexing and sweating and being, you know, your AV masterful self. Yeah.
That's it.
Oh no, but now we reveal our guest.
Don't worry.
No big surprises for the guest or nothing. No, you know. Play this song.
Broken Promises.
No. You want above it?
Yesterday?
No, yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're going to play a song from our era. I trying to get our guests in a kind of reminiscent mood here, you know, and get them a little sad and nostalgic and melancholy even, you know, and Right. So we're going to play a song while we resolve this thing quickly. And by resolve these things, we all just going to look at Vish in awe and watch his muscles flex for the next 2 minutes. Stand by. Vish, one brown fox away from saving us. If you was there on the Titanic, Vish, how close we would have reached? How close we would have reached to the iceberg?
Iceberg?
Yeah, Vish in ripping form. So, listen, and I keep telling you, as a straight man, when you sitting down here and this arm reach over and all you're seeing, cowboy movie, guns blazing. Vicious can't lean over my wood. And I was like, wait, boy, what you doing? You're trying to make me look smaller. You know, I supposed to be, you know, as a single man, you know. I'm a single guy. I should be getting some.
You're watching too much movie.
But you're out flexing, man. I only reached the point of doing my shirt
One
like
button.
Vish. You know?
You on a one button.
Yeah. So let's try this intro. Let's try
One
this
more
intro
time.
again. One more time. But, okay. On a serious note, it's been a long while. I've been hoping to bring in this guy. We had a few interviews before where we spoke about people who span the before, the during, the after. We talk about we being in another renaissance of underground and rock music and that sort of thing. And that whilst I experienced the first renaissance, the second and the third, the first one I was a fan, the second one I was a musician, and the third one, well, I'm this guy. I'm a technician. And you have a few fellas who could talk about all of them. So Scott Johnson was one when he came in with Insert Coin and spoke about that era. A little earlier than him would have been Nigel Rojas, who's been there from a lot earlier. And from the I would say the Nigel Rojas era, that would have been Joint Pop and who else was big then? Smith Tuttle and a few others. So this is just before Scott, right? Yeah, this guy was there from the misty hills of St. James. All right, that's too much. So I would like to welcome my good old friend and our old mentor in a sort of way, Obi-Wan Chesko. Chesko Emmanuel, good night and welcome. Thanks for coming, man.
Good night. That's a heck of an intro, but thanks.
Yeah. Well, you got multiple intros. That was a smooth technical move because all kind of strange things was happening since you came in.
Right.
Straight. I don't know. Tonight was just that night. So you met Vish.
Yes.
Right. We'll plug Vish into. I promise you, because I always do it, but this time is a very pointed way. We'll plug Vish into this interview.
Okay.
You will see. Vish is a noun and a verb. He's a representation of who I wish I was when I was his age and who I wish I am now.
Right.
You know, and with his level of flexiness. You know? And he humble.
Right.
He cool. He actually does remind me of us in the 90s in the sense that we out to play music.
Right.
Not to kill one another.
Right.
You know, we out to enjoy one another time and whatnot. It's a real nice seeing that now. So
Right.
I'm hoping that somewhere in this talk you could kind of walk us through the history. So I know a lot of people, they have a lot of very popular bands that have a few little things bubbling around the place and happening and whatnot.
Right.
So before we get to there,
Right.
we predate all of this. You,
Right.
Chesko Emmanuel, the guitarist.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
From St. James, but where you're from is Trinidad.
Right.
We
Yes.
are the Trinidad scene here
Sure, yeah,
now.
yeah.
So you here currently finishing up or finished recording the Sonic Revival project.
Yeah, it's more or less finished. It's one or two little tweaks in the mastering to do with one or two songs, but it's more or less done. It's just the artwork is being done now, and then next is trying to get the marketing budget to do a proper launch, that sort of thing.
Right.
So but yeah.
So we here to talk. Here's the trick. We here to talk about that. What you're doing next with it.
Right.
How you're going about marketing, where we could hear the style of music and whatnot. And I'll ask more about that in the most long-winded way.
Okay.
What was your first influence? You understand what I mean, right? So if we were to start from the start and get to Sonic Revival project.
Okay.
So I was talking about how much of a hero you are to me.
Right.
And that era.
Right.
But I know you. Some
Right.
people may not.
Right.
And you
Okay.
haven't been performing in Trinidad.
In a while, yeah.
In a while.
Yeah, in over 15 years as a band.
Yeah. But you're still performing, right?
Yeah,
Because you were with Kobo Town. This up to
I was
last
in
week?
Canada, up until last week. Yeah, I was in Canada for nearly 4 weeks. I normally go up every summertime to tour and travel with Kobo Town whenever there's gigs, you know.
Yeah.
I lived in Canada for 5 years, from 2003 till 2008. And formed Kobo Town in that space in 2005, which I moved up to Canada to form a rock band. I didn't think I would end up joining old school kind of Kaiso reggae ska band,
Yeah.
And that's the band that's been traveling all over Canada and Europe, and well, we haven't been to the States in a couple of years, but
Right. A lot of this stuff looks very European. I just look at these still pictures. If I only, I don't turn on audio for the videos,
right?
Because I'll get real jealous.
Right.
I just look at it as like, this looking very European. I wish I was there. And then I'll go and listen to the album on Apple.
Right. Okay.
So, as we on Kobo Town.
Right.
We done there.
Sure.
Touring, playing out, compared to your experiences in Trinidad.
Well, I mean, it's what about it? I mean, it's a different thing. I mean, even if we hopped in the car and drove from north to south, I mean, that was just a couple hours or whatever. But when you're away for weeks at a time, whether it is like trekking across Europe or different parts of Canada, you pack for the occasion and you pack all the gear in a van and you go, right? So it's a different kettle of fish,
Right. You're the first person I hear explaining it like that, because I've heard a lot of people who performed away or experienced shows away.
Right.
They come back and they sweat the little things.
Right.
I say little things, it's major things, I guess. But the road's so much nicer and the traffic and you could do this and you could do that and things start on time or they don't start on time, and they talk about all these small details and not just the experience of new music or whatever music they're going to say. So how would your experience with new music and old music would be interesting to me, because you were one of the guys who pioneered we don't have venues, let's create a venue out of nothing.
Yes, yeah. I think, well, I mean, we had a talk the other day in the band. We were saying how many bad gigs we've had over the 21 years we're together in Kobo Town. And we were saying we probably could count maybe 4 or 5, But, I mean, it's a lot of grueling work getting to and from places if you're touring,
Yeah.
And you just have to expect that. You just have to know that, look, you sometimes you're going to have really terrible accommodations, or sometimes the food is not going to be on time, or it's not going to be to your liking, and you just have to really make the best of it.
Is that what a bad gig is?
No, for me, a bad gig, like we've had some gigs where the crowd was off, in the sense that the crowd was not into the music, and
not
the sound wasn't good on stage, or there was this really one bad gig in England where it was a huge venue. It was a cashless gig, so we couldn't buy any food anywhere. There was no transport from one stage to the next, and it was a big, like, field almost, and we had no idea where we were going. And then after we did 2 sets. After the last set, there was a torrential downpour and we got soaked. So to me, and we were all like, one of the worst gigs ever, kind of thing. So, but that's our definition of a bad gig,
But that's all
few and far between.
It's not very incidental, just a bad day.
Yeah, it can happen to anybody.
I think
it can happen to anybody. I think what constitutes a bad gig for us is if we don't get well, especially for Kobo Town, we feed off the crowd response, and because it's kind of danceable music. If the crowd is not really taking us on and they're doing their own thing, it's a reciprocal thing,
In terms of Kobo Town,
right?
So I flip out when I heard that first album.
Right.
I was amazed that you could preserve so much in terms of heritage and style,
right?
Without being cheesy,
right? Yes,
because I grew up with a lot of cheesy things, right? But you maintain all of that. Is it well received locally? Like, is there a call for you all to play in Trinidad?
No. Not at all. And I think, funny enough, I was talking about that today with some guys. We met for lunch, some old friends. I don't think Kobo Town would survive if we existed in Trinidad.
Yeah.
The foreign market takes more to Kobo Town than the West Indian diaspora outside. It's not that we are not appreciated, like we did this summer. We did for Caravana weekend in Toronto. We did play one show at Harbourfront Centre to a West Indian crowd, and it was fairly received well. Yeah. But I find Canadians and Europeans more take to the music more. I think we have sort of, without sounding bad, we have sort of cut off a little bit of our history. For Trinis, I think we don't really, everything is soca. When it comes to carnival and calypso music, we don't really go back to old-time calypsos and what. And I think Kobo Town is preserving that as best as they can. I'm not saying Kobo Town is the, Herald or whatever, or the Bastion or whatever. But Drew Gonzalez, he's the main songwriter. His version of writing and how he does it is what has kept the band going for the last 21 years. I mean, the style has changed, his sound has changed, his songwriting has matured, and it's the band has grown along the way.
So it's the audience appreciation,
right?
Finding the right audience for you, that sort of thing. Is it? Do you think is a wider and a larger number of people to choose from, right? So you would it be more specialist type festivals that this band
for
does?
Cobbatown?
For
Yeah,
Cobbatown in particular.
more like folk festivals. I mean, they're different. What you call it? Conferences throughout the year. So you go, like when we got started, we would go to different conferences and do like guerrilla showcases in hotel rooms, And it was a lot of fun, because sometimes you would have the entire room they would move all the furniture to one side, and late night jam and a bunch of different industry people there coming to check it out. So when we now started, we were getting a lot of bookings from that. These different OCFF, Ontario Council of Folk Festivals, Folk Alliance in Memphis, Pacific Contact, I think, out on the West Coast. So, and you always have to keep on doing that. You always have to keep on going back and saying, hey, we still exist, we're still around, we have a new album, and we have a booking agent for, I think, Canada, one for Europe and one for the US, I think.
Right. So I was kind of glad to start with the Canadian band.
Right.
So let's use that and compare. Right. So one last question on the Cobbatown part of the touring and musicianship. Does Cobbatown make a working wage?
Well, everybody in the band has a job.
Right.
So this is really like gravy money and an adventure, like whenever the gigs come up, Everybody has a regular, some of the guys are freelance, Drew himself is a part-time teacher. So if and when the gigs come up, then it's like, hey, let's go,
So how the work or the work? I was going to say work-life balance was two jobs, right?
Kind of, yeah.
But so you're not able to appreciate the experience as a full-time thing. Folk not that big.
Well, I think summer is the main season up there. Like, I mean, you could do little club gigs in winter, which we've done. You could do gigs throughout the fall, but obviously the whole outdoor experience, the colder it gets, nobody really wants to be outdoors.
And you find people respond to Cobbatown style of music more in outdoor settings.
I find so. Yeah, I mean, we do have some nice club gigs and soft theater gigs, and like we did the last show I did. Was in a nice venue, I think about 150 seater. It was nice. Yeah.
My experience limited.
Right.
Listening to Caribbean style music. I can't picture sitting down and listening to Caribbean style music for very long.
Yeah.
Unless it's like the old legends. You have Sparrow and Penguin and them fellas, and you sit down in a concert for them.
Yeah,
because they're not
because you're taking in the lyrics as well. Too.
Yeah, and you're taking in the history and whatnot. But I guess so. So, as compared to your experience gigging in Trinidad,
right?
Would you say is, in terms of our working wage, would you say is similar? Or is the market smaller and tighter here?
Well, I mean, the market is much smaller. I mean, I think. I don't think the fees for bands here, from what I've seen, has gone up that much from when it was 20 years ago, Right. When I hear certain bands talking about what they're getting paid, I'm like, well, that's kind of like what it was back in the day, So I think anybody who's doing music down here is strictly for the love of the art form, And no, I don't think anybody is doing it to make a living,
Right.
In the local rock scene or underground scene. I mean, I can't really speak for the jazz scene. I don't know if there's a hip hop scene here. I think the only thriving scene really is the soca market during carnival time, and then during the year when they tour and travel to the rest of the like rest of the Caribbean carnivals, Miami or Toronto or Notting Hill or whatever,
Yeah.
So
I like to refer to rock music as underground music because He's got a few friends there. I think that's where hip hop resides as well. Whilst hip hop, who like hip hop really like it.
Right.
And who doing it. We have some real strong practitioners
Right.
of that genre. But it's underground. The
Yeah.
show is not as big, and
Yeah.
I don't know if the marketing is there. The management certainly is not there
Right.
for anybody really.
Which I find strange in terms of hip hop, because I thought it would have a bustling scene here. But to me, I never hear of any hip hop shows, or like sometimes when you're driving and you see all those posters painted with everybody's names, and you're seeing Dr. Hyde but I never see anything for
so
hip hop or what have you.
in terms of the scene and the all the varying scenes
Right.
down here, I think it's more Trinidad culture, business wise, artist wise, whatnot. I think rock, hip hop, everybody have a similar approach in that I've seen this work, so I'm gonna do this.
Right.
Right? So you would know this, and we could talk a little more about it from trying to find gigs.
Right.
You have to create gigs.
Right.
You have to see a place and kind of imagine this is a bar. I could see a drum kit over there and a band and whatnot. A few people could do that.
Right.
So you'd find, what was this, the book, Dalai Lama.
Right.
Right? People said, oh, we don't have Dalai Lama again. They're not doing shows there again, or it's closing down or whatever.
Right.
And that was the place to do gigs.
Right.
But that's less than 2 years.
Right.
There was a day when that was a bar, and
Right.
and Chad Mute walked in and said, "I'm looking for a place. You think we could do something?" And he converted it totally in a way that, because we used to do shows together,
Right.
how much ever years ago, and he had to convert it. But then everybody else wanted to do shows there.
Right.
Nobody wanted to go and take a place and make it a venue.
Right. Yes.
And
yes.
it's the exact same work you have to do, because
Yeah.
if you're going to do a show there, you're going to have to bring in the same things as if you go to another bar. The
Yeah.
same, not just the infrastructure, but the skills.
Yes,
And the
yeah.
practitioners of
Yeah.
these skills, the engineers
Yeah.
and the loaders
Yeah.
and the technicians.
Yeah.
So
Well, it was like what we were saying earlier, every time there was a good, like for me, 1995, 2010 were good years for
Yeah.
the scene. There was a hub of one place that people knew you could
Yeah.
go to and hear music every week, especially during summertime. I think summer is the only, you could have one or two shows during the year, but I think summer is the one time when,
Yeah.
kids from college are back and the place is bubbling and people want something to do.
and no snow on the ground. And,
Yeah.
you know.
So,
You getting away with it? I will let you get away with it because you go
but,
to Europe.
like
and shit.
95 was Just Friends in terms of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
2010 was between Shakers and Ibiza on Arpita Avenue.
Yeah.
So between those two places. But now, and then, Dalai Lama, like I said a couple of years ago, I found things were bubbling.
Yeah.
And then now it's, so we need to find somewhere else,
Well, I've noticed. So I don't know if you're familiar with Lynchpin. A very heavy outfit.
Yeah, I know.
right?
Like, I was
So-
supposed to go. I
right.
bought a ticket to go to their show, and I couldn't find a park. And I
Wait.
told Sivan, I said, Sivan, I'm so sorry, but I have to come back home because I'm not going to park on Sackville Street and walk over.
Yeah, but you have TTRS. You can have TTRS. Yeah,
I guess.
I was
Well,
supposed to
Larry.
pass through as well.
Yeah,
I was going to go and pay at the door, and
Right.
it just was
Yeah,
nowhere.
yeah.
And it was me alone.
Yeah.
I didn't have a group of people
No,
to
same.
walk
I was going by
to cross
myself.
the road or anything.
But I think, Cafe Blue is a great location.
Yeah.
But the problem is, what we need is a place where there's like constant walk through traffic. So
Yeah.
any night of the week, any Friday or any Saturday, you go
Yeah.
or Thursday.
Well, let's do it.
And
Let's scout it, find it,
Yeah.
and do it.
Yeah, yeah.
But-
We need to find a good spot.
And I'm not saying that for you. I'm saying that for anybody who
And- yeah,
listening who
anybody,
agrees with
yeah.
you.
Generally, yeah.
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 So So the point I was bringing up about Sivan, because he's very open to share the information he has and to
Right,
help people
yes.
and whatnot.
Right.
And Lynchpin recognized the need for branding.
Right,
Treating
yes.
your band like a brand.
Yes,
Treating
yeah.
this fella as my bandmate is not an admin, but a ambassador
Yes,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Not just
yeah.
doing his role as a musician. And they start doing that, and you have merchandising and shows and all. So you go to a Lynchpin show and it's very well organized,
Yeah,
and you have
yeah,
all this,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you have other fellas, so they have Zigzag Promotions,
Right,
who would
okay.
put together a show, and you'd be impressed.
Right,
The
okay.
backstage treatment, the audience treatment, and it's a whole different world from the 90s.
Right,
I keep saying it's a whole, like in the 90s you dare not bring an underage person into a rock show,
Right, okay,
because of the kind of
okay.
place it was, and
Right.
it wouldn't be, there wasn't
Right.
room for that. But now the culture changed so much. We don't have crazy heavy drinking like it used to be. You used to have to. You don't have to go out to get drunk anymore. You have a different experience expectation now. Okay. But you have so many more young people and whatnot that is kind of changing. Is not well, it'll always be evolving, but it has evolved.
Right.
It's reached to what Charmander has become after. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
As a Pokemon thing. If you I don't know.
Yeah.
But you have good promoters and good bands and more bands seeing that and trying to follow suit. Right. And I hope in some way it catches on.
Right.
So that they have cities like if in London.
Right.
Different areas, different towns you would go into, and the local bar would have a regular stream of entertainment. It might be every Friday or every Saturday.
Yes.
It mightn't be rock. It might be something else, but you have that, right?
Yes, yeah.
There is a want and a need for it because 5-10 years ago, karaoke was a foreign thing. Now everybody have a karaoke night. Right. And I see people singing songs and coming off like musicians.
Even
like,
rock karaoke.
Yeah. They have specialty rock karaoke sessions at Chris Rock Bar and a few others.
Right.
You know? So there's a want and a need for it.
Yes,
but there was a time before, because barmen is no longer resigned to bar duties. They're now entrepreneurs who thinking like that. So they're looking at opportunities.
Right.
Now might be a good time for that. But let's go back to before it was a good time for that.
Right. Okay.
Right. So in your earliest iteration of being a musician, where you started, like you just play guitar.
Right.
You decided to start a band. Before you decided to start a band, how you learned to play guitar? What was it like?
You were born.
In the beginning. I started playing guitar when I was about 12 going on 13. I started taking classical guitar lessons. My parents sent me up for classical guitar lessons with a Englishman named Graham Newling, who taught a lot of us in the scene. Like a lot of people passed through Graham. John Hussein, Stephen Roach, David Coburn. A lot of people took lessons with Graham. Dean Williams. Different people have all been greatly impacted by Graham's expertise and knowledge. So, and then in 88, I met Andrew Moffat.
Right.
Through a friend of a friend. And then we started jamming together, just the two of us. And eventually, at the summer of 1990, we pulled in Nick Nathaniel and then Corey Wallace. And all of a sudden, we were a complete lineup in Warhead. But we only wanted to do...
So that was your first inclination in a band?
Yeah, Warhead was the first. So that was thrash metal covers, right? But that only lasted a brief 6 months, before the band kind of imploded. And then we came back out again in 91, same as Warhead. But Nick had left and when Mark Dobson was on guitar. So, and we were more experimenting. We were doing, instead of only thrash metal, we were doing Primus, which the metalhead community didn't really appreciate.
Yeah.
So, and then at the end, by the end of summer of 91, we decided to try Attic and play covers under the name Flipside. So that was the first time Flipside came out.
Flipside was around so long?
Well, that was the first iteration of Flipside. It was
before the Anchorage.
Right. So we had that name. So we did like, trying to remember, Grand Funk Railroad and, trying to remember who else we played. But so that was, and then after that, Corey left to go join Oddfellows Local, and then Warhead kind of broke up. So that was the end of 91. And then 92, Brothers Grimm started. But it was me and Andrew, and then Nick Nathaniel, we pulled back in on guitar.
How did you guys got that name? That's a
Brothers
really
Grimm?
nice name.
We were drunk. we were out liming a night, and we just ran out of ideas for band names, and we were just talking stupidness by Bobby's Bar. And men was getting vexed, and we were like, let's just settle on one thing before, because we were really getting ridiculous, and it was late, and and we just somehow ended up on Brothers Grimm, and so
that was like a book or a movie or something.
It was Grimm Brothers. They were doing like a book or something, or
Well, all the childhood stories, you know,
Yeah.
Hansel and Gretel,
Yeah.
and a whole set of them
Yeah.
is Brothers Grimm. Those were the
Grimm
writers.
Brothers or something.
Those are the
Yeah.
right-
Yeah, it's
So-
two. But I mean, we know the sanitized versions. They
Yeah.
were real gory and stink and
And,
whatever. I was hoping it had some kind of nasty
it was
history.
we had some ridiculous names, and then Keith Chingpang was playing bass that first time, but then
Keith Chin.
well, he was the original bassist, but he only did one show with us. But the first show we ever did was in Lions Civic Center, and that was when we pulled in Orlando Pile on bass.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when we won that Battle of the Bands thing and in '92.
Right.
So Warhead originally started out as a kind of like we playing covers, but we doing a little bit of grunge and metal as well. And then Nick Nathaniel was migrating in '94, and then me and Muff started writing, and we pulled in Nick Marsan on vocals. So that was '94 to the end of '94, and then we ended up becoming a trio, and we played on until '96 as a trio in Brothers Grimm, me, Orlando, and Muff. But internal problems, you know, you had Muff wanting to go in one direction, and me and Orlando wanted to go in the next, you know.
Yeah.
And that caused the breakup, and it wasn't done in the best of. It could have been a lot more mature, but you know when you
Somebody slices sweetbread a little different slices.
Somebody get a bigger half.
Yeah, boy.
No, I think you know what when you're young and you're so what's the word? You're so hell bent that this is the only way.
I believe in this.
I believe in this. Yeah, and I did something that I shouldn't have done. You know, as soon as the album came out, Foys, right?
Yeah.
We recorded that in Rogers Royal Studio, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as the album came out, I remember I got the tapes, right? And I went up by Muff and I said, you know, it's either, you know, we are continuing as Brothers Grimm, or, you know, this Flipside thing has to end. And he was like, well, I'm not gonna, you know, I don't see why we should have to either or. And I said, well, that's it, I'm done. So as soon as I got the tapes in my hand, I said the band is over. You know?
So you all were known as the nice boys.
Well,
you all were the nice guys, and you did
we-
this big sickness. I didn't know.
Yeah, we wouldn't
I
do
didn't
it.
know.
I mean, we never did any sort of hard drugs.
Yeah, but you are.
but we had a lot
you
of,
are like
we were like Creedence Clearwater Revival, like a lot of infighting. You know.
Yeah, you just rip the man heart out and eat it.
Plenty energy there.
I love it. I love it. You're like
Mind me there,
I was only able
Yeah.
to make amends in 2009 when we formed back as the Sonic Revival Project.
Yeah. So
you know,
this picture here was
that's in Toronto.
Toronto.
They came up for 2 weeks. What happened is I got a little. Police had reformed that summer in 2007.
Yeah.
And I told them, look, tickets are going on sale. I'm buying tickets for you guys. So Muff came up and slept on my couch.
Yeah.
Orlando was dating a girl at the time that she was in Toronto, so he stayed by her family. And we went to see the police. So I said, well, look, as you're all coming up, I had an experimental rock band called Bound, which was very experimental. And I said, well, why don't we do a show, you know? And actually, Chad Mute was living in Toronto at the time, and he mixed for us. And we were in this small little room called the Savannah Room. You know, it was.
And that's what we were
poorly
just looking
attended. You know.
Yeah,
But
no.
before
Only made
Bound-
$20. You know.
Before Bound,
Right.
I see here the first Anchorage Pop Awards winners,
Right.
1996 with Flipside.
Flipside,
Yeah.
yes. So what happened was.
Give us a little insight on that.
Sure. So, so 95 was a good year. I would say, honestly, the best year for live music in Trinidad in the original scene. And there was Just Friends on a Wednesday. There was Just Friends on a Tuesday. There was Anchorage on a Wednesday. There was Moon over Bourbon Street on a Thursday.
Right, Just Friends
There
was Ruby Tuesday.
Ruby
was the name
Tuesdays,
of it. Yeah.
And then there was Sandblast on a Sunday. So
Wow.
you could have gone
Yeah.
any week, any night during the week during that summer of 95 and hear live music. And there were a lot of good original bands around. I mean, we didn't all like each other. We didn't all get along. But 96 started and Anchorage had this idea of let's do a pop rock awards. And all of a sudden you had all these cover bands coming out of the wazoo.
Were you all part of molding that scene, that idea? Because I
Well,
remember you having conversations
Yeah.
with Mr. Smith and management there
Well,
in the very early.
Yeah, I mean, I know Muff was trying to capitalize on, hey, look, we have two great singers. We could do covers and we could do Brothers Grimm at the same time. The problem that I and Orlando had was that the pop rock cover scene overtook the original scene.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was anybody's intention, but it just happened, you know. And being young and pig-headed, my stance was, well, that's it, I done, you know. And you know, but the pop rock scene eventually came to an end. And Muff, after I broke up the band, we had a couple of meetings, and he said, you know, had you just waited, we could have rode out this wave
Yeah.
together,
Right.
you know.
So
But in the meantime, so Brothers Grimm split in two. There was the flip side, the trying to capitalize on the pop rock cover scene, and then Brothers Grimm split. So we went into Big Eye Grieve, which was a bit strange. You know, like when I listen back to some of the Big Eye Grieve material, I'm like, what exactly?
Again, the name.
Yeah.
How that name came about?
Well, Mark.
Relish
Dobson.
again.
Yeah, Mark Dobson had said something about a bird was like staying by his father's car, and the father was telling him something about that's a Big Eye Grieve, and we just like that name.
That's the
You
name
know?
of that's the name of a bird.
A nice run through.
Yeah. But I think it's also called a gold-eyed thrush from what I've seen. You know,
I like how the nerd in you never left.
I don't know about that, but so basically, it was just, you know, I put it down to immaturity, and you know but I am not a fan of. Well, I shouldn't say I'm not a fan of. Having come from Warhead, which was strictly covers, and then the early versions of Brothers Grimm for 2 years, which was only covers, to go back into covers, I was not overly. I didn't want to do it for too long, and then I think what happened was Anchorage and the whole pop rock scene became what's the word? Became a monster of itself, in the sense that it got away from everybody. You know? And all of a sudden, here we are, and every bar wants pop rock cover bands, whereas before every bar wanted original bands.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't think that was their intention, but in my opinion, I could be wrong, in my humble opinion, the Pop Rock Awards killed the original music scene.
At the time, there was a huge movement that who were fiercely against it.
Yeah, I was fiercely against it.
I remember I was there as well, but last week,
Right.
because they were doing this kind of tribute type show to it,
Right.
Rory Gadgeta was here.
Right.
And Rory Gadgeta and I were on opposite sides of that argument.
Right.
And I was fairly popular and very outspoken.
Right.
And he was trying to hone it in, and it's funny how everybody's kind of cool with it now.
Yeah. I guess, you know, I mean, I've been invited over the years to join different bands, to play corporate gigs or to do covers. And I always shy away from that because I always think, I'm not a corporate musician, you know? Or, you know, playing covers to me, there's something, I like playing songs. I like playing other people's songs, but I want to put all my effort into writing my own, you know? And just to segue a little bit, you know, I've been out of the scene for a while, but over the last 2 years, I was jamming with different groups of musicians, trying to get a band together, right? 2 years ago, I was jamming with, you remember Green? Right?
Yeah.
So we were trying to do a Green Grim smash up, right?
Grim.
Yeah.
Do it.
But it completely fell apart. So,
well, you're not young and hardened anymore. What's the excuse this time?
Well, I think, that's a good point. You know what I think it is? I think as you get older, because I can see it for myself, right? As you get older, you get so comfortable in your house and watching TV and doing whatever, that to pack up your car with gear and go somewhere is a lot, just mentally, a lot of effort.
I just feel a dumpster fire start in my inner lazy soul.
So we jammed a couple of times and then it completely fizzled out. One guy, I mean, I wouldn't call any names or anything, but one guy just stopped showing up and I was like, you know what, fellas. And then last year, myself and Orlando got grafted onto another unit called, it was called War Pigs with Mikey.
Yeah.
And then my late cousin Nasty Joseph, who died in
Yeah.
May, right? And we pulled in Otto on drums and we were jamming.
Yeah.
And again, it just kind of fizzled. It just nothing. And then early this year, I that was the impetus to start this whole thing. I got asked to join a band that, as quickly as it started, is as quickly as it just disappeared.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my the music was unlike anything I've ever played before, and we never really had a full rehearsal. I jammed once with the drummer. I met the singer and the other guitarist, and they came over by me, and we worked on the parts. And then next thing I knew, it just never took off. So in my mind, I was like, why am I doing all these other people's things when I should really be focusing on mine? So from when Green and Grim were jamming, I started stockpiling ideas, which turned into this latest album,
Nice.
And then what happened? What really was the impetus this year was Corey Wallace was here. Well, Mark is here. Mark has moved back home.
Yeah.
And we met same, is it Chris Rockbar in Chaguanas? So I told him.
As in Curup.
Curup, right. Mixing it up.
Yeah,
And,
you're one of these townies who
sorry,
pass the White House and get disoriented.
Unashamed, yeah, I got lost everywhere.
That's okay.
So I always make a joke to them, we should form back Warhead, So,
Yeah.
and they were both like, eh. But then I thought, I was on Easter vacation because I teach full time at a school, right? So I was on Easter vacation and I said, fellas, I'm working on these songs. Why don't come and, check it out? So Corey said, yeah, I'll come for 9. I said, great, 9 in the morning. And he was like, 9 in the morning? What are you talking about? He said, I'm a vampire. So they
Corey
showed up.
energy levels still remain.
So they showed up at me at 9:30 in the night. And then they didn't leave until about 3:30 in the morning. But we got some recording done. And then that was when I asked, Zach Carpenter, I said, hey, thinking of doing this, would you like to be a part of it? So I sent him all these songs. And then he started working on his drum parts. And that's how it just turned into the same thing. Kind of like the album took a life of itself.
Zach cool, but his inner nerd
Well,
is a lot more powerful than his inner cool.
He's a pusher, right? So what
he's
you
get
need,
work done.
Yeah. So like Muff was a pusher. Like in any band that Muff was in, he was a pusher. Not everybody is a pusher, in the sense of like
some people are users.
Yeah. I have
that's such a 80s reference for Piper.
Yeah. Well, in the sense of, they have
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
people who push.
They have some people who are. They have some people who are just laid back and okay, well, this is happening. I'll come along with. Like, there's a band I'm in Toronto now. I'm not the leader of the band or whatever, but I've been with them a long time. Chlorine Dream. So they will do their own writing and record videos and whatever, but they don't really gig out because, well, I live here and then the drummer lives in Hong Kong. But when they're doing stuff, I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm going along with. I'm not the pushing aspect of it. And then, but like I found with Zach, he was like, hey, let's go. And so, which was, I was really happy for, because, sometimes 1 year off of something could turn into 15, which is what happened.
Yeah.
Like after the only Sonic Revival album with all of us, 3, me, Muff, and Christopher Ningerfolk. That came out in 2010. And we still had all that. We still had a lot of tension. Like again, Muff and I were 2 very strong individuals. I honestly think after a while we outgrew each other. In the sense of we really should have stayed separate and not together. Because he wanted one thing and I wanted something else. So the same breakup that happened in Brothers Grimm kind of technically happened in Sonic Revival, but to me, I more pitched it like, well, let's have a hiatus, let's not ruin our friendship like we did last time. I don't want to go down that road again. Let's just, just say we're not doing anything right now, But
give us the name Sonic Revival Project.
Oh yeah, the Sonic Revival Project. Yeah. Yes. Well, that name was when they came up in Toronto for the Police gig. I was like, we need to change the band name. We can't go as Brothers Grimm. And then I said, well, it's a musical revival. What's another name? Or frequency revival. What's another name for frequency? I said Sonic. And I said, we can't look at it as a band, as a project, because it's ongoing. Okay. Okay. And it's a revival. So that's where the name came from. Sonic Revival Project. Good thought. Yeah. And I thought it was kind of a safe band name because it doesn't sound like something gory or gruesome or cheesy or no. Although, you know, I mean, I don't know, just as a total segue, I don't know if you guys have been following this crazy band from Quebec, Angine de Poitrine.
Angine de Poitrine.
Yeah. So that I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know if the song's better or worse than anybody, but what they did manage to do, for people who like it and people who didn't like it, it wake up something. It's like you were paying attention. It's like, what's happening? I don't know what's my favorite thing, that they kind of redefine the guitars by having microtonals. Or they're doing weird music. Or
maybe I guess. Yeah.
But my favorite, actually, I was saying, I don't know if my favorite thing was that there was just weirdos.
Yeah.
And there was being weirdos, and the hell with you.
Yeah.
And
I think they've broken every mold.
You cannot take that away from you. Can't hate that. Hate it.
No.
Hate it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, you can't even hate it. That you had to love that. But influences to me coming up, and I told you this 100 times, because I had a Brothers Grimm jersey before you all had. I don't know if you ever did.
We never had a Brothers Grimm jersey.
But I used to follow all the way around, right? And I was learning classical folk. I can mix classical and folk guitar. And I decided I want to be a bass player. And it was a little bit of Steve Harris, but I remember coming to Anchorage. Not the Pop Awards, it's before the Pop Awards. You all were playing
Wednesday nights or something.
And you and Land, you were on stage. Andrew singing, the drummer singing. So my introduction, this is me now seeing live bands and thing, right? There was Oli and Oddfellows.
Yes.
Not that same night, but
okay.
They were my two favorites at the time.
Yes.
And the drummer was singing. So I start off seeing a live band where that's not standard.
Yes.
And then you and Landy had this lightness on stage, and you lean across him and tell him something while the song playing and whatnot. I couldn't play shit at that point in time. And it just looked so, everything was just fluid and connected and light and on a cloud almost. And that was it. And then I started to follow this band and watching Landy play. There was a fluidity. Like you would think a percussive style would be real broken up and whatnot and real staccato, and it wasn't. It was just fluid and musical, and I was like, nah, I play bass. It just looked like more fun, and became more fun.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, I think I always look at 95 as a great year, a great era. I think 2010 came close. In terms of the amount of venues available, the amount of bands. I do think the quality of bands and the quality of songwriting and the quality of production has improved dramatically. But what has not kept pace is the venues, you know. So like what we were saying earlier, you know. So,
but that's to be worked on. But this is something I say it for me, but not to be cocky about it. But I was part of that 95 generation. I was part of the early 2000s generation. As a musician. Right. And I remember how hard it was to buy the first bass. I had to beg my grandfather and I had to paint the whole house, and we do have a little house. You've seen the house I grew up in. And it took it takes some effort. And I got this level of bass guitar. I was not at full concert quality instrument, but now you walk into a store and that's what you're seeing. The availability of these things have changed. Musicians starting at a higher standard and whatnot, right? And our generation, because you're older than me, right? But a few years difference matters when you're young. We in the same group now, right?
I'm sorry to laugh, but it's funny. It's funny.
We were the first generation I've seen where, like, your parents will say, what shit are they listening to? And their parents, you tell them, what shit you listening to? And we now watch all this information on YouTube and whatever, and it's like, what's going to happen next? I think we were genuinely excited to see what's going to happen next. And what happened next was something that they have their own difficulties now. Obviously, everything have the good and the bad. But what was hard for us, right, being able to approach businesses as businesses. Hey, we want to do a gig here. It's easier to do that now because of us. The availability of guitars, having no music stores and hoping somebody bringing one for you when they're flying because they're not skybox and thing. To having music stores and now having performance quality music stores, touring quality stuff coming in, right? that happened because of us.
Right.
Because of the consistency with it. Not
Yes.
me alone.
Yes.
Not you alone, but as a
Just
whole
generally,
movement.
yeah.
So I get to and when I was doing the Bravo shows and whatnot, somebody asked me, what's the goal?
Right.
I say, well, local music, whatnot, but I want other people promoting and doing shows. And I got bands to come and do their own shows and make their own money, and proud to see people buying amps and whatnot. But the goal was to get old and go to good shows.
Right.
And the only way you could do that is to make sure that people could do it. And I mean, Sivan doing that.
Yes.
He's supporting, but he encouraging. He's the one, but he not going to play no sort of covers.
Yeah.
But he not going to bad talk them either.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have that attitude, and
Right.
to me, that's us paying
Yeah.
for what we want to see, right?
I could appreciate what bands do. Like, I mean, I remember years ago there was what was this site? The Banfield.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing some uncharitable things online about certain people.
Yeah.
But again, I just put it down to, when you're young, you do some silly stuff,
Good segue.
Right.
So you don't even know what I was coming with.
Okay.
I meant to bring this up earlier. So like next week, I have a group of fellas coming in, and the following week or 2 weeks after that, Banfield coming in.
Okay.
To talk about some of those things.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
We working out. We were trying to format what we talking about, music industry, business, whatever things that has been happening. He was supposed to be in the next week group,
Right.
but because I want him on his own,
Okay.
and he has his own things to say. The group next week
Right.
is band hose.
Okay.
Right. I don't think it's an offensive phrase because that's what everybody's call it.
Right.
So you have like Devin Harry Paul,
Right.
Jerome Gadari,
Right.
Aaron
Logi Tongue. Right.
them playing in 100 bands.
Yes,
Each
yeah.
they represent. The three of them
Right.
is the whole rock community.
Right.
It's just so much representation.
Yeah, I think the one commonality with all three of them, they're bassists,
they're
right?
bass players. But
Sorry,
go ahead.
There are many more guitarists and drummers in Trinidad, and there's a disproportionate amount of bass players.
Yeah.
You know.
They have the original hosts used to be drummers. Dexter Banfield is play for a good few bands.
Yeah.
But here's what I get in that.
Right.
So you write your own music and whatnot. Booze from
Hail the Hatter.
from
Right.
Vish and the Hatters.
Right.
Yeah, everything with Vish in it is Vish first, right?
Oh, okay.
That is a hard luck they booze.
Right.
But he and I have a very similar thing in that, and this is why I'm so interested in talking to people who could play in multiple bands
Right.
and give writing energy. They play in many original bands,
Right.
also cover bands,
Right.
right? Where you sit in that, as in, you could play all kind of things. I
Right.
heard you play, you know.
Right.
You could play all the different styles and whatever, but the
Right.
focus to write or stay on theme with one band.
Right.
You are one band kind of fellow. You could see yourself in three,
No, I mean,
four
I wouldn't
different
say
things.
so. I mean, because I'm in Kobo Town for the last 21 years. I've been in Chlorine Dream. That's the psychedelic band in Toronto since 2004. So I think it all depends on the style of the music. You know, I mean, I write in a particular style.
Yeah.
Which I would not join a band to then write like how I write, you know. Even with these two little groups that tried to get off the ground that didn't get off the ground, the Grim Green and the War Pigs, any ideas I brought to the table, like when we were jamming, I recorded at home, which ended up on this record, on this album. So, but I realized I have a particular style of writing, you know, a particular way of writing. But I don't write in Kobo Town, and I don't write in Chlorine Dream, you know. So I do my part as a sideman, for want of a better word. You know? I stay in my lane, you know.
Right. So you could write, but you're not a gun for hire.
Not really, and I don't really want to. What's the word? I don't really want to play in a bunch of different bands down here, you know.
Yeah, I hear you.
How comfortable do you feel?
In terms of what, playing in?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I've been asked, and but I find it takes away from it takes up time, you know. Somebody messaged me the other day. Who was it? About doing a gig. It was paying fairly well, but you had to learn a bunch of songs, and I was like, nah, forget it. You know.
Yeah.
It's just it's not. I'd rather spend my time doing, you know, just working
Yeah.
on my
So
stuff. You know?
I'm 47 and single, and I was
Right.
explaining to a friend, co-worker,
Right.
he was going through some things and whatnot, and some next girl like, once at the first, and I was like,
Right.
so they're now getting out of something heavy.
Right.
Back off.
Right. Yeah.
Back off. You could do it, but where you're getting into, I'd rather be lonely
Right.
than in the wrong relationship.
Yeah. Well,
I'd rather not play in a band than
Yeah.
play in the wrong band. And
Musically, say that musically.
Well,
like
I know.
that
I
song.
mean it for both.
I
mean it
think
for
you know.
both.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because I think on some deep level, when something is wrong.
Yeah.
You could feel it, and you could feel it inside you, like, and things start to break down. You start to end up with a cold that lasts for a month, and then it disappears, and then it comes back 2 weeks later, and you have a nagging cough or something. Something just feels off.
Yeah.
And I put that down to in music and with relationships. You know when something is off.
Yeah.
So like this last thing that I got pulled into. I mean, I won't call any names, or I mean they were nice guys, but the music was not my
Wasn't for you.
wasn't for me.
Okay.
And so but it was one good thing with it though. It was the impetus for me to say, look, I really have to do my own thing.
Yeah.
I have to do my music.
I
So-
am there now.
Right.
I going crazy. I am playing with a band that I
Right.
enjoy playing
Right.
with.
Right.
And we're going to be doing some recordings, but my own writing and whatnot. I've
Yes.
been writing bass parts, but
Right.
I'm writing the lyrics and
Yes.
the everything
Yeah.
and the get
Yeah,
vexed and it's not me getting vexed in this
Right.
band.
Yeah.
It's me helping somebody be vexed.
Yeah.
I need to get
Yeah.
vexed and write my stuff or
Yeah,
be sad
yeah.
or be romantic
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
But I see we're going to go over time, and we are.
Okay.
Right?
Well-
Because Vish not here, so we.
Okay.
We have to talk about Sonic Revival before we get to Sonic Revival project
Sure,
and
right.
the recording and what's going on. And
Right.
I know you have a Kickstarter campaign going on. Before we
Yes,
get to
yeah,
that,
sure.
two things have to happen.
Okay.
One is I want to check the comments because I always forget and check it too late.
okay,
And
right.
and people say nice
Sure.
things or bad things.
Or bad
and,
things, okay.
And then. Right, and then we'll look at some pictures.
Sure.
Just 2 or 3.
Yeah, no problem. Sure.
and use that to segue into it because it have some sadness in there.
Sure,
It
yeah,
have some, I wouldn't say broken branches, but it have some heartbreak that help build you to
Yeah.
who you are
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Well,
Break
you
it
only
down,
learn
build
from
it
your
back.
mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's look at some comments. Alison Wilson.
I know Alison.
You know Alison Wilson?
Yeah.
She says, hi, Chesco.
Aye.
Former co-worker of mine.
Yes.
Hi, Ali.
Yeah. Sivan,
Right.
Chesco, and Big Eye Grieve are one of the OG local rock stars and bands. Chesco, not only an insane guitarist, but an amazing vocalist.
Who's that? Sivan?
Sivan, yeah.
He's always kind with his.
Kind. Giselle Marie Emmanuel. Oh, yeah.
That's my cousin.
Giselle Emmanuel. Oh, yeah, I know Giselle. Giselle. Chessie equal guitarist extraordinaire. Yeah. This generation now may not be as familiar, but
Right.
this fella is one of the legends. This is like from the same, growing in the same garden as the Orange Skies and the,
Yeah.
from that era of had to fight it for everybody else. Yusuf, good night, Yusuf Babwa. Ishipai the Triniweeb. We'll get back to this in a second. Ishipai the Triniweeb. Is she the ever present? She's been all the shows and unassuming.
Okay.
Not she don't look wild, she don't look talkative, whatnot, but she in the middle of everything.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
we had a live thing here.
Right.
She was here. She's
Okay.
she's the sign of, she's the salt in the pot that's make
Right.
it all better. Right. Rashad Rahmatullah, they performed at Rock the Cause for a 2-liter Coke.
Right.
You remember
was
that?
95, yeah.
Yeah, that was a giant, I think it was 2,000 plus
Andy,
people.
yeah.
Yeah, where we were raising funds for Andy.
Yeah.
Oh, so Andy is Rashad's brother, actually.
Oh, okay.
It was
okay.
a series of things. And
Yeah. That was a good show.
yeah, Rashad saying that while you play for a 2-liter Coke, I think he knows you and he knows the generosity, but
Right.
that experience, I think So it was to raise funds to a heart surgery
Heart
for his brother. His
surgery,
brother
yeah.
had a hole in
Open
his heart
heart,
that
right,
needed
right.
patching and whatnot.
Right.
But that experience and the people we worked with to
Right.
do that. I'm saying we because I was part of the
Yeah,
organizing team.
yeah.
The kindness there, people don't realize after the surgery, these families still have to sit down together. These families have to stand up just as they're putting them under
Right.
and know how risky this thing is, open
Right,
heart
right.
surgery.
Yes, yes.
And be there and hold back the tears and be
Yeah,
brave. Like
yeah.
people don't see that part. They just see, yeah, we raise the funds and whatever. I'm not blaming anybody for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I think that experience of working with the musicians, the kindness that people show.
Right.
Because it was Brown Fox and Sitcoin wasn't invented yet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And you all and a zillion other
Babylon
bands. So it was
Pig,
about
yeah. Trying to remember else who-
it was
yeah.
about 13 bands.
Wow,
I have
okay.
I have a flyer somewhere.
Okay. It was a good show.
Yeah,
That
it was a
good
great show.
Yeah.
And just the experience of the behind the scenes and the process and the seeing what is really make
Yeah.
things roll. That was
Yeah.
huge to all of us in that.
Yeah.
You know, that man, if he meets you now, he'll still hug you up.
Yeah.
Sooner than later, Smith. Did they get each one or did they have to share it? I don't know what you're talking about. Or they just have to put in the references because too much time passed.
Maybe 2 liter Coke? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Was it 2 liter Coke each?
I honestly can't remember.
Sivan saying, Chesco, you have me praising you here. Considering covers and pop rock killing the original scene. Ishi Pie.
I don't think that was the intention. I just think it just happened. You know, like sometimes things just collide, almost like a kind of perfect storm. And as Anchorage started, I don't think they deliberately started saying we're going to kill the original scene.
No.
But
Yeah.
it just ended up being a byproduct
Slash and burn.
of- yeah.
You're burning your
It's-
heap of garbage
yeah.
and then the mountain catch on fire.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
And it became the mountain.
And, yeah. And then it was just a byproduct, you know.
Yeah.
I don't blame anybody. At the time I was young and immature and I got on like a fool at points, but
Yeah. Revolutionize. I don't know who's revolutionized, but they're saying great discussion. Glad I stumbled upon this. Thank you, algorithm. Well, we glad you tuned in.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, we're here every Tuesday. Come back again soon.
Please do.
Yeah, so Ishipai was asking, how do you find balance with your music career, other jobs, and other aspects of your life? Remember,
right.
all what we talk about is that you are a performing,
Right.
touring musician.
Yeah.
You have a full-time job.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
and,
I mean,
and then
I-
you have your personal
yeah.
things and your health and your...
Yeah, I mean, I teach music in a school, so I mean, I do music for a living, right? And I
Yeah.
always wanted to do music rather than have a job that was not involved in music.
Yeah.
I would tell anybody, you know, teaching doesn't, it's the most what's the word? Intense, raw nerve job that you'll ever have because you're dealing with kids and emotions are real and raw and you know. So
Yeah.
there are some days I'm like, what am I doing? but then there's some nice moments, you know, because I teach pan for the older kids and I see little videos of them playing in secondary school and I go, well, you know, at least I had a little victory, and you really have to count those things as because the majority aren't going to get it, you know, and music is not for everybody, you know,
Right.
Not every subject. Like I hated chemistry in school. I couldn't understand one thing about chemistry. So music is not for everybody, and I think what you know, it's important. What I've come to realize as you get older, especially for men, you know, men need a purpose, something to do, you know. Whereas men and women are built very differently, and I don't want to go down any roads to get people riled up or anything, but men need to build a little castle, you know, like that saying, a man's home is his castle. And I'm not talking about a house, not necessarily. Men need to work towards something, like a purpose, and then once you have it, then you spend the rest of your time maintaining it. you
Yeah.
know. So, and then everybody kind of goes through a period of you build something and then you fall off the bandwagon and then you lose your way and then so this is my way of coming back on the bandwagon, you know?
Right.
In the sense of, but what I've also realized over the years is, between, teaching and then teaching music privately, I teach guitar and choir and pan privately. The one thing that was missing was something for me, you know?
Right.
So that's where this whole thing came in. And then, not to make it sound a bit morbid or sad, but over the last 10 years, I've lost 4 musical friends.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's after a while, you just reach to the point where you're like, what am I doing with myself?
Yeah.
So Andrew Moffat died on the 12th of October, right? 2016, right? But then Ricky Pyle, who was the drummer in Big Eye Grieve, died on October 12th, 2023, right? 7 years apart, right? So it starts to become a wake-up call, And then last year, June, Cobotown lost our bassist, Pat Giunta, in the space of 6 weeks after being diagnosed with liver cancer, And he was the MacGyver in the band. Anything that went wrong, Pat, hey, and he fixing it on the road right there. So that was a real shock, Right. I spoke to his widow during the summer, and we were playing in Ottawa, and she was like, look, I cannot bring myself to come, And then I started working on this recording, and then Nasty passed, and that was a huge loss for me.
Yeah.
Because he was like an older brother. He used to come and check me, my me in St. James, and give me little pointers on guitar. So that was a real shock. And I found out at school he had passed. So, but again, you reach the point where you see the fragility and the frailty of life, and you want to do something to. Not necessarily to make people remember you or to say, hey, that guy still has it or whatever, but you just want to, you want to make proper use of your time, And I realize me personally, I don't like being still for too long. Like when I'm home in my house, like now it's summer vacation, I'm enjoying my vacation, but I've been out every day. I've been doing different errands. I can't stay home a whole day. I need to like
It's weird.
Yeah, but the first day when I came back last week, Tuesday, from Toronto, I unpacked my whole suitcase, swept the whole house, went in the yard, sweep up because I have a mango tree. I sweep up the whole place. Like I didn't take a nap during the day or whatever because I was wired. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how I'm built. Not everybody's like that, right? So but yeah, so that's where Carpe Diem, that song, that title was about. Basically seize the moment, seize the day. Because life is really fleeting, and and you never know what's going to happen next. It could be great or it could be terrible. You know what I mean? And that's the frightening aspect of it.
Yeah. So currently, the Sonic Revival Project.
Right.
This is the second album.
Third, actually.
Third.
I released a second album in 2022 called "And the Place Goes Wild," but it was only me. Like I did everything. Vocals, guitars, bass, drums, mixed on my laptop. I have a little bit of a problem with reverb. Everything does sound a bit wishy-washy and muddy.
I'm one of those.
Yeah, because when I released it, everybody was like, something went wrong with the reverb. I was like, what do you mean? They were like, well, it's all a bit, So, but I realized, this album, I didn't do anything. I just recorded my parts and Zach did everything, in terms of mixing and mastering or what have you. So, and I would say it's some of the best work I've done to date. I mean, when I listen back to, and this is nothing against anybody who likes Big Eye Grieve, but when I listen back to my singing, I'm like, damn it, I sounded like a Muppet. I sounded terrible. I cringe when I hear myself singing. Yeah. So I don't sing like that anymore. I think I've come to terms with how I sing, what I can and can't do, and what's my range,
All right. As a fan of the Muppets, I'll let you know.
No, but again, so the first album, the self-titled 2010 album, we recorded at Marte's studio, Random Design Studios. That was, and then we did a CD release party, and then a year later, we realized, look, this internal fighting, this internal conflict, we can't resolve it,
Yeah.
So then we took a break, and then Muff passed in 2016, But I was still kind of writing, stockpiling ideas. Any ideas I get, I try to record it one time because, you could forget stuff. So then I released this second album in 22, and the place goes wild. But so in 24, I started again recording little ideas, just in GarageBand, and then by this year, then I put it together, and
Yeah.
so yeah.
So this year,
Right.
the process started.
Yeah, April.
So I noticed. So I've been following. You've been doing a series of short stories.
Yeah.
Explaining your life. The Brothers Grimm had
Yeah.
a few parts. Sonic Revival.
Yeah.
Different things that
Yeah,
you were going
yeah.
through, and I I did get the impression it was only this year it started, but I noticed that you pulled back some old friends.
Yeah. Well, on the recording, I pulled in Corey and Mark.
So give us references for those who don't know Corey and Mark.
Corey Wallace and Mark Dobson were in Warhead.
Yeah.
The first band I was in. I'm trying to get Nick Nathaniel to do a little guest appearance as well.
Corey Wallace was the first was Oddfellows local.
Yeah.
And then he was touring with he was the musical lead for Calypso Rose.
He was in Calypso Rose. He's in a band now called Osric Tentacles, I think.
Yeah.
So
but he was always a kind of eccentric,
yeah,
strange kind of express yourself
yeah,
type dude.
yeah.
And
but he was the first real bassist I played with in Warhead.
Right, yeah.
And
when you say real bassist, you had a guitarist playing bass before?
No, like when Muff and I did the first time we ever played out, we did CIC talent show because Muff went Saints, right? And we did I Hate Myself for Loving You by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, right? And we got a good response. And then the second time we did, that was the first time Nick Nathaniel played with us, right? We decided it would be a great idea to do Am I Evil by Metallica during their Mayfair, CIC Mayfair. So we go on stage, we start to play the song, and then stuff starts to fly on stage. And men start to cuss. And they walk out the show. Like
devil thing or what?
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it was like, it was bad. I mean, we continued playing, we didn't stop.
Oh yeah.
And then but yeah.
Right. So Mark Dobson. I was trying to explain this to somebody. Mark Dobson is a man who's connects some dots. He's from a very strong musical family.
Yeah,
Sil Dobson is his grandfather. Legend.
Yeah. His father is a old-time calypsonian, Doppy.
Yeah. He have a real bad parang side.
Right.
With some homemade.
Right.
They have a whole set of condensed milk tins that it turn into a xylophone. It's like amazing. Anyhow, they're very musical, but he was part of the original Orange Sky and Orange Peel and was he in John Desai?
Yes, he was in John Desai.
And John Desai. So he is one of the originators as far as I can say.
I don't know if he was in Orange Peel. Orange Peel, the original lineup I saw was Nigel, Louis Guillaume, and Rene Coriat. And then when they came back out, it was Nigel, my cousin Nigel, Nasty Joseph, and then Rene and
Yeah.
But
So,
go ahead. Yeah.
sorry. I don't mean to be cutting you off,
No,
but we
fine.
ran out of time, and I
Yeah,
want to
that's
hear
fine.
about this
Fine.
album. So
Sure.
you have these guys,
Right.
album recorded,
Right.
You're doing tech things in studio, mixing, mastering, or whatever.
Right.
What's the plan with this album? Like you're going to release it and say it have too much reverb, or you're going to start performing?
Well, I would
like
like to come out in October in honor of Muff and Ricky's passing.
Yeah.
The hard thing now is to complete the lineup, because right now the lineup is just Zach and I. Right.
What about this? I see Zach practicing with a bass player.
Well,
you knew about this? You
Yeah.
didn't know?
No. Aaron just came for one jam kind of thing. He really can't. He's in too many bands, And then Landy.
But he's a nerd. He will.
Yeah. Landy, I would like him to be a part of it, I know, but as you get older, your time is not your own, and you get so many different commitments and this and
Last
that.
I heard from Orlando is that he not on the live scene anymore. He kind of retired from live performing.
I think a lot of people have. I think what shook me up was all these different deaths, really.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to be one of those. I got tired of every time I went out, people going, "So what are you doing now?" And I'm like, I'm retired. And I was like, I'm nowhere near retirement age. I mean, I'm 52. I mean, I'm not a spring chicken, but I went to see Rush the other day, right? In Toronto, right? So I bought the ticket on the day of, because I'm a huge Rush fan. I've seen them 3 times and now 4
You
times.
obviously have all the money in the world. Who's buy tickets on the day?
No, but I thought, at first when I heard they were coming back out, I was like, well, that's why, But I get it. I mean, they sounded great. The drummer, the girl, did homage to Neil, She didn't do her own solo. And I get it why they want to continue. They're two old friends, they're in their 70s. Why not? Until, you know.
Yeah, the question is why stop?
Why stop? So, you know, all that sort of...
Because I think that's what will really get you old.
I think so. And, you know, as sad as it was, when they had stopped touring back in 2015, because Neil was saying, look, I'm tired, I want to, you know, retire. I think that was the R Forte tour. He went home to start to write a book and he realized, you know, I'm having trouble with my sentences. And then when he went and got it checked out, that's when they discovered the brain cancer, right?
Whoa.
So, you know, I mean, all that to say, you know, sometimes you stop doing something and that's when problems starts, you know, or illness sets in, or, you know, you always hear these stories of somebody retired and next week they died, you know, like, so anyway, all I'm saying is it was a good kick in my behind to get the music up and running again. Because I do like writing and I do have a particular style of writing and playing.
Right.
You know, which
So-
I haven't heard from anybody else. I think the only one guitarist here who I thought was kind of similar in style to me was Sterling Kwansoon from Chaos Room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like to style up in.
Yeah.
You know.
You describe yourself as an extensive rhythm player.
I find so. I mean, I'm not your typical rhythm player. I'm not chug chug
Yeah,
chug
yeah,
chug chug.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I'm not. I
With Corey Wong.
Yeah, if I'm
You know Corey Wong?
Corey Wong, no.
From Wolfpack. That man just play rhythm guitar like a lead instrument.
Really?
Like
Okay.
real, but I'll send you
Okay.
some
Okay,
mix.
sure.
But as you said, Sterling,
Right.
I realized, oh yeah, Tesco is as an electric guitarist, a rhythm guy who's add fills.
Yeah. I
So
like
it's-
that. I don't like I like more riffs rather than playing chords. Or if I have to play chords, I will make it into a rhythm pattern. You know.
Oh, I make a big faux pas here. We talking like if people know this album already. What
Right.
style? Where's this? Is rock music? That's soca
Yeah,
album you're
I
doing?
mean it's grunge alternative, it's rock. You know, I mean you could play a couple songs and let people. You know.
All right, so let's play a song,
Right.
and we'll come back.
Sure.
Talk about some socials, where they
Sure.
could get.
Okay.
How the hell you paying for? You paid for this album already, like, so I want to know how costs change between then and now, better or worse?
Well, I think the cost of the album was fairly reasonable.
Yeah.
I think what I did not cater for at all, which is why I'm doing this campaign, is the marketing costs that has been astronomical. You know, yeah. So
Yeah. So okay, so let's play a song, and
Sure.
we'll talk about what your style is.
Sure.
And then we'll talk more about, because you have a Kickstarter campaign going
Yeah,
on
yeah,
to
sure.
kind of help
Yeah.
things.
Sure.
Yeah, to tell us where's things.
What song you doing?
So
Carpe Diem. Sure.
yeah, would you like to introduce the song?
Please do.
This is the first song on the album. It's about seizing the day and, you know, not waiting for motivation to hit you. Sometimes you have to take in front, you know. So be your own motivation, really.
So track 2, the first song on the album is Carpe Diem.
Yeah.
It's been quite some time, let me tell you. Getting back to this point, if you didn't know, sometimes you can't wait for things to improve on its own. You gotta put yourself in motion. You gotta be the wind in your
no Kermits.
Yeah, no Kermits.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's not guaranteed. I think I hear a lot. You missing your friends?
Well,
And
I think, well, you know what? How to put it? Like how I realize how I always write. Like that song was a green jam, right? Just the chorus part was something that I have on my phone, and then how I like to write is I would write all the music first, and then the lyrics would come next, and then the vocal melody would come last, right? So that the chorus came first in that song, you know.
Yeah.
You know, seize the moment and that kind of stuff. So I think, yeah, you know.
But it is very reminiscent of like progressive.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of Yes, a little bit. I hear that you just listen to Rush.
Yeah,
It don't sound like Rush.
No,
but I
no,
hear
no.
that you just
Yeah,
listen to them.
yeah.
Right? So that's real progressive.
Yeah.
I like what Zach do in the end in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Zach on drums right through,
yeah,
right?
Zach on drums right through.
All right.
Yeah.
Was it set musicians straight through the recording of the album? So you had different bass players, different guitarists.
Well, I mean, I played all the guitars.
Right. That dread solo was you?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, I've been woodshedding for years, watching TV. You know, just sitting down in front of my computer. Just
Yeah.
You know, I actually took guitar lessons for a number of years with a guy from Chicago called Tom Hess from 2013 till I stopped in
Chicago.
I just look at his YouTube video.
Yeah, he's good. I actually went to his whole thing last year, Hess Fest, which was quite expensive, but it was an amazing experience. You know, to hang out with all those guys, and I would recommend it for anybody. If you want to waste 2,000 US, but I really enjoyed it. You know,
If Vish say he's watch him, yeah, we had to watch him.
yeah, no, he's worth his salt for sure.
I was
you
gonna
know.
ask if Chicago the city or Chicago the band.
Chicago, the city. Well, it's a small little town, and it took
Yeah.
a while to get there. You know, 2 flights and a bus and a. I mean, you know.
Oh, it's
so-
in-person classes.
Yeah, he does this thing every year called Hess Fest.
Hess Fest.
Yeah, so it's like in a ballroom in a hotel.
Yeah.
Like one of those kind of conference rooms.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
get about 60 people, and they're showing different techniques, and then you break out into classes.
That's the one
And
that he brings like students with him on stage.
Yeah.
and that's what ends up on YouTube.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I was in that. It was like beyond frightening.
You were on stage. with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I played a pack of crap.
That is Steve Vai moment.
It was. I was like, I almost wanted to say, you know, I'd never played like this before in my life. I've always played better at home. What's going on? Get me off the stage.
That's
you know?
exactly how
it was bad. But
That's exactly
everybody
how it
there was
worked.
so nice. You know, everybody there is just to learn, and you know, so
Yeah.
yeah, I was taking lessons with him for a while. I've stopped because you know, but I think, you know, anything you always have to constantly be what's the word? Honing your craft and reinventing yourself, and
Yeah.
really looking at what you're doing and saying, well, what I liked and what I didn't like, and I could do and I won't do again, and that kind of thing. And there were, like I said, there were, you know, going back on the early Brothers Grimm stuff, Foy's, there were a lot of songs on that album. When I listen back to it now, I'm like, I would never play that again, you know. And similarly with the Big I Grieve live album, there are certain songs I'm like, why did we write this, you know?
Yeah.
So the 2 songs on the new album, we did over Crossroads by Brothers Grimm and Contraman by Big Eyed Grieve.
Right.
So Zach is playing drums just as a sort of like a tribute to both Muff and Rick, you know?
Yeah.
So if you want to play either of them, it's fine. I mean, you know, so yeah. So, but I mean, I did enjoy the whole recording experience at Rogers Rail, but I think recording equipment and production facilities have come a long way.
Yeah.
So, and the one regret I had with Big Eyed Grieve is we never recorded properly because our equipment was stolen. Right?
Yeah.
Right as we were about to go in the studio, all our gear got stolen. Right?
I remember that.
I only found back my PV amp in a store on South Key, you know. And but that destroyed the band really, because we were going in the studio. I mean, I was gonna migrate to Canada in 2003, but we were gonna go in the studio right before I left. And then the equipment got stolen.
And
Yeah.
bollocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was asking earlier,
Right.
you have dates on the release. So what's the initial release of this album?
Well, it's going to be in October, but I'm doing a Kickstarter campaign to do proper marketing of the album and proper artwork. So if anybody signs up on Kickstarter, if you just go kickstarter.com and then search for the band name, The Sonic Revival Project, you will see a campaign. If you do contribute $10, you'll get the album in September. So like a pre-release sort of thing, you know.
To be clear, right? Because I saw that and then I
Right.
went on Kickstarter and it's 10 Canadian.
Yeah, it's 10
Right.
Canadian.
You're
Yeah,
talking in
yeah.
Canadian because
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is only about 50 TT.
Yeah, it's less than 100 TT,
Yeah,
which is, you know,
Yeah.
that's
I have different bundles as well. So if you want the whole back catalogue, you could get it for 30 Canadian, which is Foys from Brothers Grimm, the live album from Big Eye Grieve, and then the 2 previous Sonic Revival albums. So, so you get,
Nearly on that.
How the track looking? After you play that song, what do you say?
Yeah.
No?
Ishipai said, "My only quest is to make the best of each moment." Love that line.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I tell you, she's the ever present. Like
Right.
she's a real.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like that term carpe diem is Latin, right? Seize the day, you know. So
Yeah. Hey, look, Richeline Emmanuel.
Hi.
Yeah, Richeline Emmanuel. Like you so connected. You have so many. 2 things
Right.
about Chesco, right?
Uh-huh.
And his family. Have plenty musicians
Correct.
and plenty pretty girls. Like all the girls in his family could be models.
Let me go further and say everybody in our family good looking.
It's true.
Full
True.
stop. Right?
It's
man?
true. Yeah, Vish could be a Emmanuel.
Yeah. Easy.
Vish have the fitness and the sexiness and the right. So other than Kickstarter, you have a what is your social presence?
well, the band is on. I mean, and again, this didn't exist 16 years ago when we started, right? 16 years ago, there was only MySpace, right?
Yeah. MySpace actually in talks to start take it back up.
I liked MySpace, you know, but it just got like everything else. It just got spammed and flooded with a set of bad recording qualities. You know, like I think what they should do is vet, and then people started adding people, and you would find that people who were making bedroom recordings or just had tens of thousands of friends, and it's like this can't be correct, you know.
Yeah.
So I think they need a better vetting process.
Well,
you know?
I think they the model they go in with is to simplify.
Right.
To simplify the whole platform.
Yeah.
Like what you liked about Facebook at the start.
Yeah.
If Facebook were to break it down to just that, but they can't do that.
Yeah,
Facebook can't do that, but
yeah.
MySpace can.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever, that's not the point. You, social presence.
Yeah, so right now we are on TikTok, which I do not doom scroll. I don't look at anybody else's profile on TikTok other than just posting. And all I'm doing is for just to give people the history of everything for the last 36 years of my life.
We are about 30 years too old for TikTok.
Yeah, because one of the marketing people were like, you need to start a TikTok account. I was like, what?
You do.
How does that even work?
But they also have social media managers that you could say, hey, what you need? You log into all my socials and deal with it.
So,
and you just provide.
Yeah, so the band is on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and that's it. You know,
under
we
what
have a
name?
YouTube channel as well. The Sonic Revival Project.
Right.
You know?
No underscores, no nothing. The Sonic Revival Project.
Yeah.
Okay, and do we well, you let me know if you're doing a live launch at some point.
I would really like to aim, once I could get a full lineup going, I would like to do a proper show, and maybe I'll check Carl Jacob at House of Cafe Blue. I'd like to do a
Blues.
proper nice, you know, thing. To pay tribute to Muff and Rick, because it's just so weird, you know, to play with 2 drummers at 2 different times in your life, and they pass on the same day.
I had when you said that on your stories on Facebook, I had the most morbid jokes to make.
Right.
And I just bite my tongue because, like, I was about to make it, but I knew the drummers. I knew that they were friends of mine. They were people who they were in my band room. You know, in my studio doing things and whatnot. And I was like, what we had to do. But I'm still gonna I'm not gonna make a joke of it. But you know, Zach, take your vitamins, behave yourself. You know.
Yeah. But I mean, I would like to come out in October, but only if I have a full lineup, and I'm not gonna panic and rush But in the meantime, Zach and I are practicing. We're good. So it's just for a basis. And I would like another guitarist just to kind of fill that space behind me.
Two guitars overrated. I like trios.
I do too, but I wouldn't mind another guitarist. Just to
by all
see,
means.
just somebody just strumming behind me, like just to just to add a little extra layer. So that's the plan. October, God willing, once I could get a full lineup.
So
and,
yeah. So I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to the before we go, because we have to get back into some music and some other announcements.
Right.
We well over our time for this interview,
wow.
but I think
Okay.
it was so worth it. I'd love to have you come
Right.
back.
Yeah.
Because they have so many other stories.
Yeah.
That I want to hear. And,
Well, I guess what I would like to say is, for anybody listening, if you have a chance to check out the campaign on Kickstarter, just kickstarter.com and search for the band name, the Sonic Revival Project, and support us if you can. Every little bit goes a long way. And for all the musicians listening, don't stop what you're doing, because the minute you stop, that's when life becomes, I don't know, boring and not fun anymore.
Yeah.
So you have to find happiness in doing the simple things that you enjoy doing, even if it is just jamming with your friends. I think too many times we become bitter when we don't do what we like to do. That's just my theory. I could be wrong.
Yeah. We need to be more honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
And not open your mouth if you don't like something. Say I don't like it.
I don't like it. Yeah.
So, the people was real hot setting up the place. I don't know how that's work. Vish might have to explain it. Ishipai said she's gonna follow you on TikTok. TikTok
thanks.
trends way more than on Facebook. And Sivan saying, Chesko, as usual, I'm thankful to get me more music from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sivan.
Yeah. So, Chesko, it was a pleasure.
Yeah,
I
it
hope
was a
to
lot
see
of
you
fun.
again. I
Yeah,
wish you
yeah.
like all the success. I hope this album blow up and
Oh, thanks.
and we have Rush opening for you. that'll be awesome.
Not honking my own horn, but I honestly think this is my best work.
Yeah.
Right now,
Soon-
at this moment.
Soon to be released.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play another song from your upcoming
Sure.
album.
Sure.
You wanna introduce it to us?
Yeah. Without saying anything that will get me in trouble, because sometimes you say things about people and you get cancelled. So this is a political song, right? And it's really about oppression and people who on the international scene, So people who oppress one group of people. So this is my way of saying, you might be on top now, but your time will come. You'll have to answer for. So in the chorus is, surely your time will come. You will have to answer for your sins. So there's a little bit of a religious thing to, because I do believe in, the four last things: death, judgment, heaven, and hell. And anyway, but that's it.
Yeah.
So this is a political song to one particular guy who on international scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from the Sonic Revival Project, from the upcoming album, what's the name of the upcoming album?
It only takes one small misstep, and I could talk about that too. But that's a different thing. Yeah.
So it only takes one small misstep. Will be will be released in October. This is the 8th song on the Sonic Revival Project. It only takes one misstep. Your time will come.
Then you are high and mighty.
You try to blind the masses to the evils that you fund. Paid for with your dollars, so the truth makes you threaten. You want the facts to be hidden, everyone to bury their heads. But the defenseless must be protected, eating them is just so weird. You try all sorts of excuses for what you perpetuate. Those who see clearly must therefore remonstrate. Callous on uncaring, you decide their fate. Hopefully on karma you won't have long to wait. You cannot silence me, for the animals louder I will be. The more you try, the harder the sound. Speak up for the animals until I'm in the ground. Stop killing the animals, you're nothing but a pest. Stop killing the animals, give it a permanent rest. Stop killing the animals, you can thrive without bloodshed. Vegans are the living proof, you don't have to make them dead. You cannot silence me, for the animals louder I will be. The more you try, the harder the sound. Speak up for the animals until I'm in the ground. Stop killing the animals, you're nothing but a pest. Stop killing the animals, give it a permanent rest. Stop killing the animals, you can thrive without bloodshed. Vegans are the living proof, you don't have to make them dead. Go, vegan, now. Go, vegan, now. Go, vegan, now. Go, vegan, now.
How many times I might have told you that I wished upon a star? How many nights we were so lonely, and now baby here we are. The clock is ticking as I stand spitting at the world, at the world. Today is such a beautiful day that I'm not inclined to find a word to say. Today is such a beautiful day. I'm lost in this love. This love is like starlight at the end of day, sprawled across the Milky Way in the twilight of my mind. This love is the pain that may swallow us, the dark cloud that may follow us through the corridor of time. Today is such a beautiful day that I'm not inclined to find a word to say. Today is such a beautiful day. I'm lost in this love as I look up to the sky.
Beautiful Day by Orange Sky. And before that, we had Rahil's new song. Louder. I've just started practicing my radio voice, Fish. You know? Fish, like, generally, right? Who you find more interesting? Like, when I talking to you or when Chesco talking about hash browns? So it was? Something. Hess. Tom Hess, yeah.
That's something I can relate to.
Wait. You ever meet Chesco before today and you already like him more than me? I sound like a real insecure girlfriend, huh?
Basically,
Yeah. That's what going on. So,
Am I on air, by the way?
you can be.
No.
You are now.
Would you like to hear what was Darren's nickname in 1995?
I had a nickname?
Of course.
What was it?
Fan number 1.
Yes. I was a loyal fan, sir.
And then Marlon was fan number 2.
Marlon was fan number 2. I wanted to bring it up and I was like, that I will sound like such a fanboy.
What was Marlon's last name?
Marlon Gooding.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah. So he still asks what's going on and whatever. Once in a while he'll take in a show and whatnot. But that was
fan number 1 and fan number 2.
fan number, yeah.
Those were the days.
Yeah. We used to go to every gig.
It was only 31 years ago.
Wait, shut up. Why? I gotta take off your mic. So I just doing a quick recap of what's coming up in the next few weeks. This Saturday we have Hallowed Be Thy Name at Chris Rock Bar in Curep featuring the Anomaly, Grass Project, and Tad. Yeah,
good show.
Yeah, it'll remind you of the days. It's a small venue. Why this thing not thinging? Rockers Cup. You in that or Chesco? The Rockers Cup. Now we chose a picture. A picture was chosen, right? This guy is what Vish will look like in 4 years, or on the field. Okay. The Rockers Cup is in is musicians playing football against one another. It's $50 at the door, and the proceeds are to benefit the Just Because Foundation to help children with cancer. Or some group of humans doing.
Yeah, it's a great cause.
Saturday, 14th November, and then I have a blank screen. Why is this blank? Why is this blank? Vish, spoil it. Unspoil it from other. Yeah, and then we have what's the name of these people? Freak Show, Zigzag. I need to get Zigzag. I need a little flyer boy to put up like all now so we could be flying. You know what I mean? Vishnu say you go hook me up there. So I think we kind of out of time. We could run maybe a song again, a song or two. Vish, what are you saying? Yeah, Vish is one of these what do you just call it? Like battle axe types. As soon as it's 10 o'clock, I feel you lash me one of these days. You lash me one of these days? All right. So everybody, thank you for coming out, for supporting the show, for paying attention. Racheline, it was nice seeing you for a split second. You know, I hope everything good with you and everybody else. Sivan, Rahil, Ishipa, the ever present. Zig, Zag, Revolutionize. Next week we start at 7 o'clock, same channel, free to fall in. Please, Rashad Rahmatullah, Yusuf, everybody in the chat, please go and click the like button. And we'll take you out with a song or two as long as Vish allows it. And thanks and good night. Next week we hoping to bring in the band hose. The band hose. Yeah.
Our radio.fm.
All right. Thanks and good night. Please enjoy these songs. As soon as I can find the thing. Right. We gotta figure out why we don't get audio.